Hi, I'm Kez, and I'm planning on hiking the Continental Divide Trail in less than a month now. And having already completed 2 long trails, so both the Tiararoa in New Zealand and the Pacific Crest Trail in the States, I thought I would give you my top tips for how to plan and prepare for a through hike and also how to train for one. Okay, so my top tip for planning for a through hike is don't. Take whatever plans you have made and just throw them into the trash. So that is a slight exaggeration, but the average person actually needs to prepare less than they think. So the main things that you want to prepare for are all those pre-trail logistics, not actually what's going to happen when on trail. So things like getting your gear together, saving enough money, how are you going to get to the start of the trail, what permits are required, what health or travel insurance you might need. All those things are absolutely good to plan and prepare for. But when it comes to planning for your time on trail, there's just a limit to what you can do. There's too many variables. It's hard to know what you will be doing and where you will be on week 3 of the trail, let alone in 3 months down the track. Variables like weather, snow, fire, tramleys, injuries will all put a kibosh to the best of laid plans. So here is my recommendation. Plan the basics, not the complete details, just the basics of your first couple of weeks on trail. Know where your first few resupply stops are and if any of them might need a resupply box. If they do, then absolutely plan that one, pack that and send that before you start the trail. But apart from that, work out how many days it's going to take you to get to your first resupply town, pack food for that, and then once you get to that town, pull out Far Out or whatever maps you are using and work out how many days to your next resupply town and get that amount of food from that town. And then once you're on trail, everything else can be worked out from there. So I like to work a state or a section at a time. So once I'm on trail, if I see that there is a place that needs a resupply box in 3 weeks' time, then I'll deal with that on trail. When I get to a town, I will pack a box there and send it ahead 3 weeks waiting for me. But apart from that, I don't plan for anything on trail because who knows what will happen. Now, of course, the one caveat to that is that if you do have specific dietary or health requirements or are hiking with children, then that of course will take more planning and preparing. And if that is the case, then absolutely go ahead and make sure that you work out what that looks like for you to be able to hike. As for training for a through hike, again, my top tip is don't. Okay, that's not quite the entire story, but let me tell you about my time on trail and why I kind of say don't. So I hiked the Tiararoa and the Pacific Crest Trail back to back. I went from a Southern Hemisphere summer to a Northern Hemisphere summer and it was absolutely great. Had just 2 weeks in between the 2 trails. But when I was on the TA, I thought I was the slowest hiker in the world. It didn't help that I was hiking with 6-foot-something guys and this long-legged blonde beauty from the Netherlands. But they would just power past me, be at the top of the hill, and I'd finally arrive and I'd be like, "Don't worry, guys, I've made it." And then I went to the Pacific Crest Trail and I was like, this is amazing, look at me go, I'm the fastest hiker in the world. But of course I had my trail legs already. And so I was zipping past people, leaving dust behind me. It was within 2 to 3 weeks that I started to see that people were matching my pace and even overtaking me again. And definitely within a month, 5 weeks max, I was back to being my normal, slow, average hiker. Now, the reason that I tell that story is to say that actually it doesn't take long. It's a matter of 2 to 3 weeks before the average person gets their trail legs and builds up their fitness. And so the best training really is going out and starting a long hike itself. Don't go crazy. Be conservative, build up your miles at the start of the trail, but before you know it, you will have gained trail fitness. And so while sitting on the couch and stuffing yourself full of ice cream, my favourite thing to do, might not be the wisest training regimen, just continue to do what you normally do. So if you go to the gym, keep that up. If you take the dog for a hike, do that. Get out and do a shakedown hike if you need to dial in your gear. But you don't need to go and do a week-long or longer hike just to get fit for the trail. That will happen as you go and do a through hike. Well, I hope that has been helpful. I look forward to seeing you when I'm actually out on the trail and giving you some updates. By the way, I'm in Australia. There's kangaroos behind me. I don't know if you could see them. Nah, I think they've gone. No, they're totally there. Let's see if I can get them for you.